All right, let's talk about AI. It seems like you can't go anywhere without hearing about it, right? And the conversation is always split. On one side, you've got people calling it this incredible, revolutionary creative tool. But on the other, there's this very real fear of massive job losses. So what is it? Is it our new creative partner? Or is it going to make us all obsolete? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into. So let's just start with a really direct question, one that scientists are actually trying to figure out right now. Is an AI, something like ChatGPT, more creative than you are? And it turns out the answer is, well, it's not a simple yes or no. And this is where the paradox really kicks in. You've got two different scientific studies that seem to say completely opposite things. One study says, yep, GPT-4 is more original than us. But then another one comes along and says, hold on, the best human ideas are still better. So what gives? What is actually going on here? To get to the bottom of this, we really have to ask a bigger question first. I mean, what does it even mean for a machine to be creative? And how in the world do you even measure something like that? Well, one of the main ways scientists try to measure creative potential is by testing for something called divergent thinking. The best way to think about it is just brainstorming. It's your brain's ability to take a simple prompt like, hey, what can you do with a brick? And just go wild, coming up with a whole bunch of different, unique, and clever answers. And this is where it gets kind of wild. If you look at the data from that NIH study, when you just average out all the scores, the AI chatbots actually score higher than people. That's right, on average, they come up with more consistently creative ideas than we do. But, and this is a huge but, averages don't tell you the whole story, not even close. See, the AI is really good, but its ideas are all kind of clustered around the middle. Humans, we're all over the place. We have some truly terrible ideas, but we also have moments of pure brilliance. And why is that? Because an AI can read the entire internet, but it's never had a bad day, it doesn't have weird memories, it's never had that flash of insight in the shower. This quote from the study really just nails it. The AI raises the average for sure. It's a solid B+ student, but it doesn't get the A++. It doesn't have those genius-level, game-changing ideas. At the end of the day, those still seem to be uniquely human. So this whole tension between what we can do and what machines can do, it brings us right to that other big feeling, the fear. The fear of being replaced. And let me tell you, this is not a new fear. Not at all. It's a story we've been telling ourselves for centuries. I mean, just look at this. We're talking about an emperor in ancient Rome blocking new tech to save jobs. A queen in the 1500s refusing a patent for a knitting machine because she was worried about her people. Then you have the Luddites smashing looms, and even the famous economist John Maynard Keynes talking about this exact thing back in the 30s. It's the same anxiety over and over again. Yep, there's a formal name for it: technological unemployment. It's simply the idea that when new tech comes along, some jobs disappear because machines can now do them. It's a concept that has been around for a very, very long time. Which, of course, leads us to the billion-dollar question, doesn't it? Is this AI revolution just the latest verse in the same old song? Or is this time genuinely different? You know, for decades, most economists would have told you not to worry. They'd point to something called the Luddite fallacy. That's the argument that, yeah, technology kills some jobs, but it always ends up creating new and often better jobs to replace them. And if you look at history, they've been right. The car replaced the horse and buggy, but it created way more jobs in factories, gas stations, and motels. But what if the old rules don't apply anymore? And this comment from a Reddit user just puts it so perfectly. The machines of the past couldn't think. They couldn't learn on their own. They couldn't get better by themselves. AI can do all of that. And that single difference is why this moment feels so unsettling. So let's just break it down really simply. The Industrial Revolution was about machines that replaced human muscle. The AI revolution is about machines that replace the human mind. It's a shift from automating physical tasks to automating cognitive tasks. And that changes the entire game. This really brings us to the core of the whole debate today. Is AI here to replace us, or is it here to augment us? To be a tool that just makes us smarter, faster, and better at what we already do? To think about this clearly, you gotta know these three words. First is replacement. That's easy. The AI does a job a person used to do. Then you have augmentation. Think of AI as your co-pilot. And finally, complementarity. That's the idea that AI will create totally new jobs that we can't even imagine yet. And this quote right here, I think this just nails the idea of augmentation. It completely reframes the whole conversation. Maybe the threat isn't the AI itself. Maybe the threat is being the person who refuses to learn how to use it. The future might just belong to the people who can work with these new tools. So you've got this amazing new creative potential on one side and this deep economic fear on the other. With all these powerful forces colliding, where are we actually heading? As you can probably guess, the debate is pretty intense. And if you spend any time in online forums, you'll see how extreme the views can get. For some people, it's not a question of if we'll be replaced, but when. And the only question that matters after that is, what's next for humanity? A world without work that looks like a utopia? Or something much, much worse? The stakes literally could not feel higher. And that leaves us right here. We started by asking if an AI could be more creative than you. But this whole journey forces us to ask a much, much deeper question. As these machines keep getting smarter and start doing more of the things we thought only we could do, what's left for us? What does it actually mean to be human?